Hey, I'm Gabby.
Hi, I'm Laura, and
This is A Little This, A Little That, where we talk about
a little this
and a little that.
Okay, so we're going to try this podcast thing out.
Yeah, we've been talking about this for a while, and we're finally doing it.
Yeah. I mean, do we want to talk about, why we're doing this, or,
Well, I think, first of all, we need to acknowledge that we are sisters.
Yes.
If anyone else who doesn't know us and is
if you're a new listener.
Yeah. If you're new here. Yeah. So we are sisters.
Sisters. Yeah.
And we've, since the popularity of podcasts has grown, I feel like we've always talked about how we would like to share that with people because we like to chat our faces off.
Yeah, we can talk. We can talk. And so we were just like, okay, let's see if we can do this.
Yeah.
And so we're going to do this. So let's just jump right into it.
Right. So we have some topics that we want to talk about.
Yes.
And the topic for today is
Summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the time of this recording, it is, I don't have my phone with me.
I think it's 113 today.
Yes. So
that's where we're at.
That's what we're dealing with.
That's what we're dealing with. But it's also overcast today.
Yeah, today it is.
It's giving.
It looks coastal.
It does.
It looks coastal outside, but
no.
We haven't stepped foot outside all day.
So we're going to talk about summer and I don't know. We don't know what we're talking. Gabby wrote some stuff down. I wrote some things down. I don't know what she has. So let's go. What's the first thing that you have written down in summer?
Okay. So the first thing that came to mind is, kind of taking it back when we were younger. We spent a lot of time at our grandparents' house. And a lot of that time was just playing outside, acting silly, cutting hair. You cut your hair, I cut my hair. We cut our grandpa's hair. So that's one of the first memories that I have of summer is
when you think summer, you think grandpa's house.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I do too. I even went more specific and I talked about how Gabby, you would train me.
Oh my gosh. For the Olympics, actually.
For the Olympics. So Gabby is 6 foot. And
yeah, I'm very tall.
She's tall. And so I am not tall. I'm 5'3". And Gabby has never been able to do a cartwheel. And I have always been able to do a cartwheel. I don't know how.
Her center of gravity is lower.
Yeah,
I am higher from the earth, and it's just a little scary doing that tumble.
I think you were scared. I think you were scared to do it.
Because I tried multiple times, and it just the momentum that I needed to launch my legs over just didn't happen. But I looked at you and I was like,
she
a perfect specimen.
Yeah,
let's get her to do it.
So we would take these okay, so our grandpa,
and this was happening at our grandparents' house. So this is very much connected.
Yes, this is at our grandpa's.
We were on the same wavelength.
In the summer. We would go to our grandpa's house and he had these chairs with the chair cushions on them.
Cushions, yeah.
And so we would Gabby would take them off and basically do a landing mat for me and put them, and they were, do you remember the colors? I remember the colors.
Yeah, they were striped yellow, white, blue.
Blue, yes. And the blue was a sky blue, not a navy blue. Yep. So glad we remember that. But you would put them down for me and and then you would make me tumble. You would make me do cartwheels. You try to make me do.
I really did. And I was just again.
And I literally was training for the Olympics. And Gabby would be point your toes, point your toes.
I don't know why. I just saw so much potential in you.
Well, I will say that one thing about grandpa's house and also summer, but grandpa's house was
no cable. This was in the 90s, I guess early
90s and early 2000s.
Early 2000s. He lived in, they were old and they didn't have a lot of money. So there was the TV there. It had the 6 channels.
Yeah, the
and
cable,
antenna
basic
TV
cable.
has basic cable. So there wasn't really much to watch on TV. We had a VHS player, but we could only bring so many VHSs with us. And so after a while, we were just we need to
it was time to explore. So I remember grandpa's house, again, it being hot. I remember the slingshot. my grandpa had a walnut tree in the backyard, and he had this like handmade slingshot, and we would get walnuts and like shoot them out into the trees and like watch the crows come and get the walnuts.
And then he had a swing from that tree too.
Yes, like a homemade swing with like rope and like
a plank, like
with
like a
old
2x4
and
plank,
old carpet on it, and like we would
stapled
go
to
from there. So I think grandpa's house just like, I guess it was grandpa and grandma's house, but I think because grandma died when like we were like young, like we were younger. So we.
But during that time that you're talking about, like the tumble and stuff, like she was there.
Yeah, grandma was there.
Yeah.
All this to say is like grandpa's house and grandma's house, we just like played like imagination.
Yeah,
like,
and that was
like
and that was like our mom's side. We also went to our dad's side, our other grandma's house, and we spent time there too. Like she had like a abandoned pool. Like,
no, it was a tub.
It was a tub.
It was like a big
off the ground.
Yeah, it was like this big white tub, like old timey, like Little Women-esque tub.
Very, very.
And it was like
she would like
huge.
fill it with water, and we would like go swimming.
Yeah. And
but she would go swimming with us. Like there's a picture of me, I think, swimming with her. Yeah. And yeah, she had chickens, and we would feed the chickens. We would get the eggs. So like, that's what I'm talking about.
For summer,
For summer, it's like that's where we were.
We were at our grandparents a lot in summer because like obviously our parents were working. They were like both full-time jobs. So
right.
But and I'm not even saying like, oh, we would go there in the afternoons. Like we would spend weeks at a time at our grandpa, like our, I'm just saying Grandpa Cavazos, like that side, which is our mom's side. Like, yeah, like weeks at a time. Weeks at a time. So we were constantly like, yeah. So I just remember Gabby making me.
So did you write that down?
Yeah, I wrote that. That was my first thing. I was like, oh my God.
Okay, so
like,
what else did you write down?
Okay, the second thing that I wrote down about summer, this is when we were a little bit older, but I specifically remember learning how to cook over summer.
Oh,
and like,
okay.
I remember learning how to cook. One, because we were starving. Like I was starving all the time in summer because I was
when we
like,
were left alone.
Yes,
like,
when we were left alone. Yeah, our parents were like full-time working people. Like couldn't get off of work. Couldn't just like come home for the like lunchtime. Like working, and I just remember being so freaking hungry all the time until finally I was like, I gotta do something about this. Like I am food motivated. And so, like, I was like
I'm self-reliant starting
I was
today.
like, I gotta figure it out. So I remember cooking. I remember learning how to cook.
And you know what food reminds me of summer during that time? Mac and cheese.
I was gonna say mac and cheese is like, that's what we learned how to do. It was one of the first things. Another thing we learned how to cook at Grandpa. Because remember, he would put the butter and the milk in there. He would
make it like the way that the box made it. Like you put a little bit of butter in it, you put milk, you put the pack, you mix it, you kind of let it stand for a little bit.
Yeah.
And it fucking slapped.
Yeah, it was really good. Dude, it was... I remember cooking... I remember cooking how to make rice on the phone. So this is when the cooking was like happening kind of at a young age because we were still at Grandpa's house. But then I'm also remembering like when I was entering high school. So you were, and I think it's because you were out of high school at that time. And so I was spending more summers alone. And that's why I was like hungry because I was like, what am I supposed to do? Like I'm all alone. Like there's nothing to do.
I think that's crazy. I never thought about that. Like I've never spent a summer alone like that. Yeah. Because
when you were in high school, I was like 6th grade, 7th grade. Right, and so we were like in the peak of our like, we're spending summer together.
Right. But so that was probably the summer that I had my first job over the summer. That you were home by yourself.
Yeah. And then you were always, and I just remember like being like, okay, like I have to learn how to cook. And I remember calling mom up and telling her, well, first of all, the whole like take the meat out of the freezer.
It's so real.
Dude, it's so all those people who talk about it and all the memes, like, it's so fucking accurate.
Like, we would be sprinting down the hallway. Like, she would call and she's like, you guys better have that freaking chicken out, or like
the ground beef.
Or we would hear the garage door open and I was like, fuck!
Yeah, dude. It was like, and I don't know if it's because like they only told us like verbally, they didn't write us down, or they didn't check in. I don't know what it is, but like,
because it wasn't our responsibility to cook. I think that's what it was. Like I wasn't
Mom
going to
cooked
cook
for us.
I wasn't going to cook the meal. So like I didn't, like food just appeared. Like thank God, you know, thank God. Like my mom was able to like,
which is why I started cooking over the summer, because I was like, where the fuck is the food? Like, I'm starving. And I will say too, both mom and dad were never like, we never had snacks.
Yeah,
like we go over to our mom's house now.
House.
Mom
not a
mom
snack
has
house.
like Oreos and chips and this and cookies and crackers and you know little.
Now that we're grown, like when we were kids,
no snacks.
Both houses didn't have no snacks, like no chips, no cookies, no popcorn. Like, and if we did, it was not.
It was
we
like,
wanted.
yeah, no, I don't remember having snacks. So I remember learning how to cook. I remember calling mom up on the phone and like the old house phone at her house and like being on the phone and her like walking me through how to make like, you know, Mexican rice essentially.
Nice.
And then that's how I started cooking and feeding myself.
That's a good memory. Yeah.
For summer.
Okay,
what's
so
the next
let's
one?
see. So kind of like in that same area of like going to grandpa's, but like maybe a little bit earlier and maybe in between you learning to cook, was we spent a lot of our summers at a like summer day camp.
Which one shows you how much, again?
So the one that I think of is Bethel.
Okay.
Bethel. So it was a like Christian based like day camp. It was like a daycare, but as we got older, we would spend. So here's how it would work. My parents would work very early and school hadn't started yet. No one could take us to school. So they would drop us off at the daycare, and the daycare, it seems like daycare nowadays, daycare is like, oh, they're little babies. It was like a school. And
because I think now, I mean, this is like such a bigger topic, but I think now because people have to work longer, like sooner once they have kids, like there's more babies at daycare because people need to make coin quicker now.
Right.
Like I think when we were born, like I think mom stayed home for a little like longer.
Yeah.
And now, and I remember like we were obviously, but we went there for a long time. I mean, we were there for like, since I was there from pre-K, preschool, all the way until I think I was in the 5th grade.
Yeah, I was there all the way up until 6th grade. I remember when I went into middle school, I was super embarrassed about still going. And I think that's when I finally told my parents, I was like, I don't think I need this anymore. Like I can be home after school. But when we were younger, kind of like backtracking, when we were younger, we would go in the mornings. It's still dark outside. We were the first ones there.
Yeah, we were the first ones there, freaking last ones there too.
First ones there, last ones there. Literally.
Yeah.
They opened the doors for us.
And we were like, they would open the doors and like we would get dropped off and like we were part of the morning crew.
Yeah.
Because I remember helping Miss Dorothy, our cook, the cook, Miss Dorothy. I remember helping her like put stuff away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
I remember being in the kitchen with her. She was such a nice lady.
She was
such
super
a nice lady. But all that to say, we spent a lot of time during the summer at this place. And I'm sure it was an arm and a leg for my parents to afford it, but we didn't have any family in the area. Like whenever we would go to our grandparents, like that's like an hour and a half away. And so this was kind of like the only thing that they had at that moment. So we did a lot of stuff there. Like there was arts and crafts. We like, you know,
we went to the community pool.
Yeah.
Like,
we would go to the water park. We would go to, we went to the mountains, you know, where we live. It's like, you know, an hour ride to the mountains. So we would go to the lake. And yeah, I mean, we spent a lot of our formative years there. And I think that like, maybe this is another podcast idea, but like, I feel like that's like a really,
that's a whole other episode.
I feel like that's a very integral part to our like development as children, our intellectual brains, stuff like that.
Yeah, it definitely helped us like socially. It definitely and like, but summer we were there a lot, and it was just like really fun. We had a really good time. Like, we were safe.
Yeah,
It was just
we played outside. Yeah. We, you know, I met people that I still kind of talk to today that are, you know what I mean? Like we.
Oh, same.
Yeah.
Alexis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yes,
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I met Amalia and Isaac there too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I remember about summer. We would go to the pool. There was like this slide at the community pool. Very like Stranger Things. Like if you've seen Stranger Things season 3, I think.
Yeah. Which is super relevant because we're rewatching the show right now.
Yeah.
Like, we're on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That community pool was definitely like we were there every week. Every Wednesday we would go to the
you
pool.
would get the wristbands. Remember the wristbands?
Yes,
You would get the wristbands to go in, and they had like no ins and outs, no ins and outs. Like once you got your wristband.
And then there was like the kiddie pool where like I was at for a little bit. And then I remember when I like went like, I'm ready for the big pool now, and the big pool. And then when you like finally jumped off the diving board, like
terrifying, absolutely terrifying. Yeah. And I was always really nervous to do that because you were a better swimmer than me. You've always been a better swimmer than me. I think, I don't know, because like your height or whatever, or just like your general more athleticism than me.
Maybe I just like
I
really did feel comfortable in the water. I just, from having swimming lessons early on, I guess like it was fun. We had a good time. And do you remember those water shoes? Yeah,
the water
shoes. I remember they were kind of cool, but kind of dorky at the same time.
Like,
and
obviously, like, as an adult now, I'm like, hell yeah, give me the water shoes. And now it's like, you can wear Crocs. You can wear Crocs to the lake. But
they were like the bathing suit material.
Yeah, they were like that, like, scuba material. And I remember we would try to, like, wear those. And, like, I was embarrassed because I thought it was just so uncool.
Yeah, I wanted to be super cool and, like, wear, like, have my bare feet. But the cement was freaking hot.
Yeah.
And I could never do it. And I remember like one of mom or dad bought us them and I was like, it's kind of ugly.
Yeah, they were kind of ugly. And then also at the community pool, there was like the guy who would sell like the chicharron.
Oh yeah, like the elotes and the chicharrones and like he had the little bell, you know.
Yeah, and so because there was no in and outs, we would have to like stick our hands like through the gate, and we'd have to give him money. Yeah, and like he would like hand us the stuff over the gate.
Yeah. Always had like and the paleta man too would come around, and I would always get a paleta from him, the strawberry one.
I know the strawberry.
Oh, and then the blue one. Did you ever get the blue one? It's like bubblegum flavored, and on the end, at the very bottom, there was two bubblegums.
There was two bubblegums.
Yeah.
What shape was it? I remember that.
It's blue. It's just like a regular paleta. It's like just like ice blue.
Yes.
Yeah. And then at the bottom there was two bubblegums.
Because like also so kind of like that was a perfect segue. One of my other ones was ice cream. I just put ice creams. Again, very food motivated over here. Everyone in the comments could be like, "You fat bitch." Be like, I can tell.
Didn't have to tell me twice.
Yeah, you don't have to tell me twice. Like, I can't figure you food motivated. God. I'm saying all the people in the comments, like, as if like millions of people that watch this. Yeah, okay, like our 3 friends. Like, anyway.
Oh, thanks to our 3 friends.
Thanks to our friends. Thanks to our Patreon. No. Okay, but yeah, so popsicles. Again at Grandpa's house, the freaking ice cream man, and fucking 25 cents. 25, 50 cents. Like, can you believe?
Yeah,
25 fucking cents for popsicles, dude. Because I remember we would be like scrounging for change. Mm-hmm. Like literally like pennies.
And I think I remember having $1 and being like, I'm going to get 2
Dude,
things.
We're going to
like,
get, yeah.
Like I was like excited for having like $1 or something or $2 or whatever it was.
But popsicles and ice cream, I mean, it's still to this day.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed. Yeah. I literally thought today, I was like, I'm getting ice cream today. Like as I was getting ready, I was like, I'm going to go get ice cream today.
That sounds fun.
But getting popsicles all the time. I mean, obviously, it was like the Tweety Bird one.
Oh, from the ice cream truck, like the truck that was coming through.
The Tweety Bird one and the Bugs Bunny one.
Those ones were bomb.
Obviously.
Okay, and then my favorite was always the strawberry shortcake one.
The strawberry shortcake one, yeah. Amazing, fantastic.
Like unmatched.
And you know what it was is because like we didn't have those flavors, and we didn't have treats galore in the house. Maybe that's why I'm so food oriented. Discovering I have ED right now. Yeah.
You're like, I'm healing my inner child every new treat I have.
That's probably why I fucking love treats so much. Like not a fucking day goes by. Like literally yesterday I did an hour of homework and I was like, where's my treat?
Like I deserve it.
I was like, I need the fucking treat. But yeah, I remember getting ice creams. And then, but we had, again at Grandpa's house. Okay, so a couple things here. I'm gonna hit some points and you chime in. Okay, Grandpa's refrigerator was old. And so,
Double doors. Mm-hmm.
And so,
I already know where you're going with this. So I already know where you're going with this.
The ice cream was always like perfectly between like still, it was like perfectly melted. Yeah. Like soft serve. Like it doesn't care like what kind of ice cream you got. It was soft serve. Like
ready to eat. Like you didn't have to wait for it to thaw. You were just like, let's go.
Yeah. So that. Okay. Number 2, we would always get the little cups with the vanilla and the chocolate on the side with the wooden spoons.
I need to know who still remembers those. Like I feel like those were even old school then.
Because of the wooden spoon?
Because of the wooden spoon. Just because, like, I don't know, because our grandparents were old and they were like, hey, like, these are...
I'm sorry, I had a burp.
I was like, are you okay? I feel like those were, like, vintage then. Like, you know what I mean?
They were kind of, like, old school.
Because they came in, like, a big pack like this, and there was 1, 2, 3, like, all in the plastic, and then they had the individual wooden spoons, and they were just, like, a wooden plank that you would just eat it with.
And I remember, I could remember the way it tasted, because I would, like, I would, like, suck the flavor out of it. Okay, and that was weird though. That was weird because also, okay, this is going to, like, maybe not summer, but like around that age range, I would like soak water in paper towels and like suck on them. Don't you remember that?
No. During the summer?
During the summer, yeah, because it was so fucking hot at Grandpa's house. Remember? Because all he had was a water cooler.
just in front of the water cooler, like every time he turned it on, and then he would get like the manguera and like put it in the back, and like. Because he wouldn't
like turbo, you know.
Well, because he wouldn't turn it on all day. There would be only certain times during the day, like at the hottest part of the day. Then he would turn it on because they wouldn't be able to have it going all day.
Yeah, or like
yeah. So he would like get the manguera and like make it all wet on the back, and then turn it on. And then they had like it was like through the window, and then they had the table right there, and I would get onto the table and just like lie there.
I remember that. I remember that 100%. But I remember sucking on paper towels.
Why was that better than drinking water?
I don't know.
Just some weird
I don't know.
Shit
people in the comments would be like, that's autism.
Yeah. You'd be like the texture of the
no, seriously, because I would soak the paper towels in water and I would put them in my mouth and then like just suck the water out of them.
Interesting.
Very weird. Maybe I didn't tell you about that one when I was a kid. I probably didn't because you probably would have been like, that's fucking stupid.
No, I think I'd be like, you're weird.
Yeah.
Weird. But no, I don't remember you doing that. So I never,
it somehow was like it felt like,
obviously
water.
I remember wetting paper towels and putting them on our head and like, wiping yourself down because it was so hot. But I mean, anyways, going back to the ice cream, I kind of want one now. Can you still buy them?
I think so. I think they're,
I need to go.
I think we are going, we're going to get them. We're gonna get them. I think they have to still sell them. They have to.
I hope so. We might have to go to like a mom and pop store.
I feel like State Foods,
or even like R&N Market. Like I don't know if Walmart has them.
Dude, we're on it
because it needs to have the wooden spoon. If it doesn't have the wooden spoon, not worth it. I need the whole experience.
Nah. So that's what I had. That was another point for ice cream and popsicles.
Yeah.
What's your next point?
Oh, yeah.
What else did you?
What else do I got? Okay, so now that we're like kind of a little older, like I don't know if you want to go there or not.
I'm scared. What?
I mean, we would go to a particular place maybe once a summer, every other year. With Dad.
Oh my God. You scared me. I thought it was something scary and bad. No. Oh, Disneyland? Yeah. I mean, listen, if you're listening to this, you already know what we do. Like, you already know we fucks with Disneyland. Like, I can't.
It started from a very young age.
It was.
And we would consistently only go to Disneyland in the summer.
Yeah, no.
We weren't getting pulled out of school. Like we weren't like going during Christmas time. Like I don't think I was only I think it was in my 20s when I realized that Christmas was a thing at Disneyland. No, we went one time with Mom when we were in high school. Remember?
Oh, well, yes.
Yes.
I remember, yeah.
But that was our first time going during Christmas time. Like, Christmas time. I love Christmas so much. It's so nostalgic. That's another podcast episode.
Yeah, that's trust.
90s nostalgic Christmas. Like,
unbeatable, untouchable.
Anytime those freaking TikToks come up with like Nat King Cole in the back.
Yeah, I eat it up.
Oh, God. Okay. Anyways, I'm about to go down a wormhole because I love that so much. But we would only go during the summer. And I feel like that was like a really nice time to visit our like
we had
LA
family
connection.
We had family down there, so we would obviously like hang out with the fam. With the fam. Ooh, don't ever let me say that again. Our family down there, and like. And
then, we would stay a couple days, and then one of the days we would, head out and go to Disneyland. And it was like the funnest thing ever.
But, and me and you have talked about this because we've been at that fucking park so often.
Yeah.
But for our new viewers, like, I don't remember eating at Disneyland when I was a kid.
Right.
Like, I obviously remember, like, we went on Splash Mountain and, like, we were going on the rides and seeing the parades and stuff. I never remember eating at Disneyland. Granted, because it was...
buying merch.
Oh, yeah.
We never bought merch.
I remember Mom bought me... Do you remember this one? It was, like, a pink T-shirt with all the princesses on it.
Vaguely.
And I wore that to the ground because like Mom bought it for me and I wore it for like years because that was just like my Disneyland shirt until I grew out of it.
Yeah, any of the pictures that we have from trips that we've went with our dad, I don't have a pair of ears on. Like I don't have a Disney shirt. The one time we went with Mom, we all had like a white Disney shirt on. She didn't. But we did. And I think I got mine at Old Navy. Like it had like a weird like gray Mickey on it. And then you had, I think, an old Disney shirt that you bought from years before.
Yeah. I mean,
like we never bought merch, like ever.
Talk about what's that new trend on TikTok right now? Like under consumption.
Under consumption.
That has been our fucking lifestyle since forever.
Forever.
Under
honestly,
consumption.
Like
brings my Stanley out.
I'm gonna how we're not doing that anymore.
I know. Under consumption. Yeah, just listen. We get sucked in for a sippy cup. Let me see what you're saying.
But
yeah, we were at Disney. We were seeing the mouse. We were seeing the mouse a lot when we were kids, and it wasn't because
I wouldn't say a lot.
No, not a lot. Well, then what would you say? Not a lot, but a little.
Like we weren't going.
We weren't like
two times a year. We would go once every other year.
But I will say, like when people were like when people heard, "Oh, you're going to Disneyland! Wow, you're going to Disneyland!" Yeah. So. But I mean, it was a very crucial part of our summers and and clearly now, of our. It's just I don't want to get because I know we can go on and on.
Yeah,
and on.
You're right.
I don't want to talk about that too much, but you're right.
If you want to hear more about that, let us know.
Go ahead and hit like and subscribe. Yeah. Smash that like button.
So cringe. But I mean, we could go on and on about that. But I will say that that again was a part.
It was summertime. It was a summertime vibe.
So that's what I think about, especially road trips with Dad. And then speaking of that, once we got older, my dad's mom, our grandma and grandpa, moved up to the Central Coast area in California. We're from California. We've lived in California our whole lives. Central
Born
California.
and bred. Yeah. Okay, we're back in. Okay, so grandma and grandpa moved. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to burp again.
Are you okay?
It was that red wine, dude. I had a lot of red. I made sangria last night, and it did something to me. Red wine makes me gassy.
That's crazy. It gives me fucking heartburn.
Yeah, but it makes me gassy, and so I think I'm still being a little tooty toot, Little toot toot.
You're foul, dude.
Dude.
Literal.
Yeah, literally.
Anyways, what?
We were going, Grandma and Grandpa.
Yeah.
They
So
moved to the,
another
they
road
moved.
trip-esque over the summer, we would
Beep,
go to our
beep.
grandma and grandpa's house in the Central Coast area. And that was always fun. The weather was nice.
It was like quiet. Those were, every time we went, again, spending days and days on end in our grandparents' house.
Yeah.
Where
again, she didn't have anything. Like,
even more so, she had
even
less.
more so, she
had less, because it was like it was like a small town-ish. I mean, it was small. I don't think the town is small anymore.
Yeah.
But like, it was like no cable, renting VCRs from there. Like,
and even when we were older and I was able to have a cell phone that went up there, like we're talking years and years after, no signal.
Yeah.
There was like, you couldn't
dead. You couldn't get, I don't know. I mean, maybe if we did. Anyway, it's like maybe there could have been Wi-Fi there when we got like dial up by the time we wanted internet, but like, no, we didn't want that.
No.
But yeah, Grandma's house, I mean, we were like, oh gosh, I feel like there's so much to say, because that's when like our cousin who was into some like,
right, dude, she was a goth.
Yeah, she was a goth. I mean, she still is a goth. She still is a goth. Like, that's where I discovered like goth stuff and like the crystal ball, because she would get this like magazine that was for like witches, and they had like cloaks and like crystal balls.
Yeah,
and, like,
that shit was
cauldrons
cool
and stuff. And yeah, I remember like looking through that magazine and being like, oh my god, like I want all of it. I want all of these things. So,
and then my grandma painted. So in an area of her house, she had like oil paints and easels and stuff. And so that was really cool to kind of like play around. Like I didn't really get into it very much because I was kind of scared of her and I want her to like get mad at me. But like I would kind of like peek around and like see her drawings and stuff. And like they just had like old books, like.
And then remember, she had a couple of paintings of like naked ladies.
Oh yeah,
she had like charcoal sketches.
Yeah,
of naked ladies,
she
and
did.
I remember being like,
"What's that?
Oh,
what is that?" Yeah, she had like just a bunch of just old people stuff, honestly. And then like she had a piano, so we would tinker around on the piano. We would like, and so the town was small, but her lot, like the house that she was on, like was pretty big. So she had a really long driveway and a really big backyard. So like we would just kind of like play like adventure outside.
Yeah,
like we were like in the bushes and the dirt.
Yeah, we were always out there. Like,
and when she first bought it, she had like they had the owners before left this old boat in the middle of the backyard, and so we would be on the boat.
Yeah,
I'm in a boat, bitch.
Yeah,
you remember that?
Yes, we were just like everywhere, constantly, like outside, playing all the time, like getting into trouble, like not getting in too much trouble because, like, man, oh man, our grandparents were scary as fuck.
Yeah,
they were scary.
My grandma was like, she was nice, but like I didn't want to cross her. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't trying to like.
No, she was scary. And then remember, Grandma also in the summer would like take us to go like steal leftover.
Oh
vegetables.
Yeah, so she was in like a very agricultural area of the Central Coast. So like every once in a while, she would be like, "Hey, like come for a ride with me," and we're like, "Cool." So we'd be like bumping along, and she would pull over onto the side, and she would like the vegetables of the fields had already been like picked over by the agricultural workers and like the
field workers.
Yes, yeah, same thing. And the tractors and
and so Grandma basically, because like she obviously like, you know, grew up living
off the land,
like she grew up and working in the fields. She knew where to look for like the
heads of cabbage, heads of lettuce, broccoli.
Yeah, so we would go and like take them from, which I'm pretty sure it's
I think it's illegal.
Now, I think
I don't think you can do that.
I don't think you can do that. I don't think you should do that.
No, absolutely not. But she would
I don't know if you can go for it. Why not?
She would pull over and she would just kind of like unturn some stuff and she's like, "Look, see, it's basically good." And I was like, "You're right, it is."
But you know what though? You know what? I'm sorry, Grandma. Like, I'm sorry. But she would play this freaking little trick on us where she'd be like, "Oh, I'm going to order pizza." And we'd be like, again, food motivated. We're uncovering a lot of shit right here now. She's like, "Oh, I'm going to order pizza." I'm like, "Yeah, fucking pizza. Yum, 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 yum." And then she'd be like, "But you can't have a slice." this is bad. I don't think this is good parenting now. I think a lot of health people would say this is bad. But like she'd be like, but you can't have one until you eat the vegetables that she would like.
Oh, really?
Do you remember that?
No, I don't.
Wow. Because I remember
you would have to eat vegetables.
Yeah, and I remember it was like broccoli, and I would be like, ew, blah, blah. And of course, like grandma wasn't like sauteing it in like garlic.
No, it
butter.
would be like raw from the ground.
Yeah, or like
she'd be
steamed.
like, yeah,
she would just steam it.
This is the same grandma that would make a green drink.
Like literally go and pick dandelion leaves from her yard and like make what we would call a potion.
Yeah.
We would call it a potion and blend it and make.
She really was a witch, dude.
Dude, like she would give it to us. She would give it to us. I mean, yeah, she also told us to like put mud on our heads when we had headaches. So like that's what we were going, you know, just like, yeah, very. Anyway, I'm gonna say is that like I hated that because I was like, I knew what I was like. I don't want to eat the vegetables. I just want my pizza.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was really rare for her to like order food like that because
she was
cooking it up. Like
in the kitchen cooking stir fry.
Yeah, she was freaking cooking it up. Like she cooked really, really good. And I mean, but like, you know, as a kid, you're like, I want a pizza, I want some chips, I want this, I want that.
I want McDonald's.
Nope.
Yeah.
No. But okay, so the last 2 points that I have, so if we want to wrap this up. The last 2 things that I wrote are hanging out at the house by ourselves and fighting.
Yeah.
And then not doing any chores because we were on the internet.
Still to this fucking day. That's what
literally, yes.
Okay,
yes.
so obviously, and I don't know how, because we have some pretty big fights. Like we had, okay, and if you're a close friend of us, you know that this is true. Everyone's always like, oh my gosh, like, how are you guys, like, such good sisters? It's because we threw it the fuck down.
Yeah.
Like Gabby and I used to, like...
We got on each other's nerves. Like, and we still do, but, like, because obviously we're older and a little bit more, like, emotionally mature. But, like, we would
throw it the fuck down, dude. Like, I would, like, chase after Gabby. Like, we would tackle each other, like, kick each other. Like, I strangled Gabby like Bart Simpson and Homer. Like, yeah, dude. Like, we would, like...
And I was, like, mean. Like, I would, like, pick on Laura. Of course, because,
like, you know, you're the older, she'd, like, instigate it. Like, we'd be walking down the hallway, and she'd be like, ew. You know, she would just, like, say some stupid shit or whatever. But, yeah. And I think it escalated quite easily because we had zero adult supervision as, like, we were getting older. We stopped going to daycare. We stopped going to daycare. We stopped going to, like, our grandparents died fairly young, like when we were young. So we stopped going to our grandparents' house. So, like, my parents were kind of just like, okay, like, you're going to stay at home alone. And, like, that's when the fights would ensue.
Yeah. And so the things that I remember fighting about are just, like, the feeling of summer being at home by ourselves was, like, we were always like,
we would get bored.
Yeah.
Because we would get bored because, okay, kind of like tying into like the internet thing. Yeah. The internet thing was real. It was happening, but we had dial-up. And
obviously just like, you know, a lot of other millennials, one computer in the house.
Yeah, we had one computer. And so we were like, and it's not even like we were on the computer a lot.
No,
like it was just like, I remember just being bored. Like we couldn't go out and do anything, like, you know, because
we weren't supposed to leave the house.
Yeah, because that was like, you know, we talked about doing a lot of stuff when we were younger. It was because we were at our grandparents' house. Like we had our daycare, our summer camps. Like we were doing things when we were younger because we had adult supervision. The moment we were staying home more, we didn't have adult supervision. And so we were like, our parents were literally like, don't answer the door, don't answer the phone, don't turn on the stove.
Yeah, don't leave the house. Yeah. Like just sit there. And we'd be like,
this is boring.
Yeah. And so we would get on the internet, like, you know, I wasn't the type of person that was like chatting in the AOL rooms with like random strangers.
That's a whole other topic.
But like, but we would fight over like, okay, you've been on it too long. Like now it's my turn. We would like push each other out of the way, and then we would like get upset with each other and stuff like that. And then like, I mean, this is later on, but like I remember spending like hours a day fixing my MySpace page.
Oh,
like, and
absolutely.
So that's in high school now. And I don't know where you were, but like, for whatever reason, I just remember being on
at mom's house or here?
At mom's house. I remember.
Well, because the computer was in your room.
Yeah, it was.
Well,
I don't know why. I don't know how that happened.
It was in your room because you were like
because the set that I had a desk in it.
Yeah,
and so
the furniture set, and so you got the computer in
and it's
your
not
room.
like I lived there a long time after that anyway. So yeah, but I remember spending hours fixing my MySpace page.
Oh, me too.
Like hours, to the point where I was like, my ass is sore. You know what I mean? Like I
remember spending hours on the computer too, like burning CDs. Like that was my like LimeWire, like burning CDs, like putting into our own MP3s. But yeah, I remember that a lot too. I don't know where I was if you were spending all that time, because I would, you know what I was probably doing? I was probably watching fucking musicals in my room.
Or listening to music in your room, or like texting or chatting with boys.
I think I have a feeling I was more so watching musicals because I was like alone. And I could
if I was in the house, where were you? You were probably in the house too.
But I was probably in my room. Because, the difference between mom and dad's house was mom's house, you had the computer in your room. I had the TV in my room.
True.
And here at dad's house, there was one computer in his room.
Yep.
And one TV. No, two TVs. A TV in his room and a TV in the living room.
Yeah.
So I feel like I was and I remember in the summer watching musicals in the summer.
Or you know what she was probably doing? Writing in her diary.
Yeah, probably writing my diary.
She had a lot of diaries.
I had a lot of.
The only reason why I know that is because
fucking mom. Oh, you found them, and then mom read them too. Oh my god, that's a whole other fucking conversation. That's all. Oh my god, don't even.
But yeah,
I had a lot of feeling. I still do, but like whatever.
I just have a lot of feelings.
Yeah.
So that's all I have. Like that's like our kind of trip down memory lane for summers. For whatever reason, I don't think of summers in my early 20s up till now. You know,
I mean, I definitely do, but it's related to like other things. It's related to like traveling abroad or like,
right.
And like we can talk about that like later, which we want to. So 20s and summers are a little bit different because we were obviously drinking and going out.
And I feel like it's a little bit more individualistic. Like, I was doing my thing, you were doing your thing. Like, because for a while there, we were obviously growing up as siblings. You spend a lot of time together when you're young, and then when you get to be older, you kind of separate, and we don't, So if we're talking about each other, that's the first thing that those are the first things that I remember.
Yeah.
So, but that was fun.
Yeah, this is a fun first podcast. If you made it this far, thank you.
We appreciate you.
Yeah, we appreciate you.
Please tell us.
Tell us your summer memory. Tell us your favorite summer memory, or like what you remember, or if there's anything that we said that like you relate to as well.
Yeah, that'd be so fun.
But tell us your favorite summer memory. But I think we're going to end it here, folks.
Yeah.
So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And we'll see you later.
Next time.
Yeah. This is the outro music.
Something we can like kind of groove to.
I know. We need outro music. So, okay.
Bye.